Kishor Jagirdar and I represent Infopace Management Private Limited. It's a 20-year-old organization and we are into strategic change management and innovation. And most of our solutions are revolving around calibrating, bringing about transformational shift in the organization for the strategic goals. And we work deeply in the areas of innovation. The economy is shifting from knowledge worker to a talent management organization and market-driven organization. So therefore, we see a lot of shift where organizations are, even small businesses are shifting into automation, and AI is doing a great job in terms of the data compilation, cleansing the data, gathering the data, then contextual references and meaning which is relevant towards the operations and to the business strategy of the organization. The AI is definitely making a deep impact and it's for here to stay. The Indian scenario is completely different as against rest of the world. We have a huge population, the demographics are different, and customer preference and the psychology of the customer changes every 40 kilometers. So therefore we have multilingual approach and we have so many complex stuff. So therefore the data is very huge and myriad. And when we talk about small enterprises dealing out with customers scattered in a wide geographical location, obviously automation is a very powerful tool to reach out to them. It reduces a lot of time wasted on trying to identify the right customer and also what the customer prefers, and identifies all these through AI support, where the data is gathered, cleansed and then curated, and only the relevant data is then thrown and broadcasted as to how you can identify the right approach, what is the cost of the customer acquisition and where the customers are. So there, once you have acquired the customer, how do you keep the customer engaged and then creating a value proposition for the customer. See, with so many complex situations that are happening, so many disruptive innovations are happening, so many variety of offers that are being given by various platforms like e-commerce. So the customer today is very pampered, and in fact the customer's choice making is many more in number than what it used to be earlier. So therefore the customer, to retain a customer and it is no longer just to satisfy the customer, we need to engage the customer and go beyond delighting the customer, where you need to see the customer feels wowed about you all the time. So therefore that is a very critical important way to retain a customer today, as the acquisition of the customer is very high today. So now coming to the point where the patience or the customer's habit of expectation from a solution provider is now fast shrinking into a very short span of cycle, where they want things to be fixed very soon. They cannot wait, they cannot be in the queue. So therefore the external customers are greatly benefited when you have an AI driven automated platform, and it solves their problem just once they are lodging their complaint or they are lodging their issue or they want to look upon some information, and they're all sorted in one go. It gives a very good feeling at the end of the day for a customer, external customer, and for the internal customer it also enables them to move out from the space of this constant transactional approach, the various standard operating procedures to be minimized and crunched into an automated place, and therefore they make their workplace a more exciting place where they can show their talent rather than focusing on working like automated robots. See, today the automation is not just coming with a mechanical process, but it comes with a lot of intelligence process. So therefore, when a customer is looking at a solution and that solution is provided at one go with a very well laid out process, the customer feels very happy and the customer feels, well, the person is being taken care of, cared, and also a sense of belongingness comes because of the efficiency level at which it is being solved. So the turnaround time at which the customer response is given from the organization holds the key to whether I would like to be a repeat customer or not. So this is a very critical factor in today's context, and I think this will play a key role in defining what value the customer will bring to the organization, at the same time what the organization impacts for the customer. Well, if you look at this, Indian market is a very price sensitive market, and it has a great relevance to the Indian scenario, as I mentioned earlier, specifically because we calculate a lot on the cost factor, not only on the bottom line but also on the top line. Now, when we look at putting a process in place, and you want a certain standard operating process where you have a culture in the organization and you want to translate that culture, a lot of training, investment on training is done, and these trainings are repeat trainings. And as we have another challenge in the market where we cannot retain people for a very long time, so therefore what happens is repeat training has to be done with the same kind of process happening, and attrition is at very high level. So the people come in, take training and move out. So this creates a lot of cost to the organization. Now when automation comes in place, it takes away the entire cost of training. It is just minimal requirement, and therefore the return on investment is very high, since the wastages of various activities which are no longer relevant is now bringing down the cost and the budget of the organization. Well, what we do is major part of our customer base are startups and people who are innovators who are coming on board. So they expect a lot of information, and sometimes these informations are not easily available. So what we have done is we have created a booster kit, and we have automated the entire process of basic interactions which are normally asked by the startup ecosystem. And what we do is we enable them to come onboarded on this, and then through membership criteria. And when they come, they get sorted with all these basic stuff, where the funds are available, what kind of grants are available, what are the schemes available in the ecosystem, and how by being a member of this ecosystem a value addition happens. So this way we have created a platform of a booster kit where we are providing startups to come and display the products, and these products can be basically dealing with sales of the organization or the financial accounting of the organization, where people come, take it on a process for say about a 6 months timeline, and then after that they move into the paid mode. So therefore they get to feel and experience the whole thing. They come with confidence that this is making a difference to their organization. Well, right now we have multiple collaborative models. What we do is we work on a cluster of solution providers who have been engaged with us. In this kind of complex environment, there is no one-stop solution or one service provider who can give you the entire gamut of advice or solutions. It has to be spread out. There can be places where among the 10 things, about 6-7 things can be sorted in one place, but then the remaining things could be super specialization which needs to go to another 2-3 service providers. So we have a basket of these kinds of solution providers. We are also part of the network with Google and AW and all, and various Oracle and solution providers. So we extend that benefit to our startups, and they get greatly benefited by getting credits from these organizations. That means they can host or use their server, or they can actually use the extension of their platform without any charges, provided they are part of the ecosystem which we have built on. Well, what happens is each idea comes with their own set of packages and their own set of market research, Now what we do is we spend a lot of time with each customer and we try to identify where their potential market is, and in that market we also try to segregate. As I mentioned earlier, we talked about the booster kit and the sales lab tools, where we are talking about identifying what is the cost of a customer acquisition in real time value. There are times when you don't spend anything, the customer just comes and gives you the order just by the word of mouth that has gone in the market, or sometimes they just see the value that you're providing and they get onboarded. But there are times when you have to do 20 visit to a customer, give a potential customer, give a presentation, convince them to get onboarded. So there is a cost that happens which could be double the expense which we had planned. And sometimes there could be no investment at all. At the first call itself, you convert that into a potential client to a client. So therefore, we do a lot of real-time mapping of these things, identify where these kinds of potential customers are, and also a lot of business intelligence is involved in this. For example, now if there is a client or among the ecosystem partners, we find there is a need of someone migrating to a new business model. So what we do is anticipating their business potential in next 6 months, we line up the potential service providers in our ecosystem right now. So therefore, they will be able to tap into the opportunity that will emerge in the 6 months time. One small example I would give here is that one of the innovators that who came with a solar street light innovation. Now the person was looking at where to take it to the market, and the go-to-market assistance is what was lacking there. They have the funding, they have the proper technology, they are providing the right technology at the right time. So while we were talking about this in the ecosystem, we found a person who, that is an organization which is a gated community which is about to roll out. So they came and placed a big order to this startup with about 300 crore 3 crore requirement, which now the person is spread out to providing as a service by manufacturing it and installation spread out over a period of 2 years. So obviously one customer giving 3 crore business spread out over 2 years means a lot for a startup. So this is the kind of initiative we are doing. Well, change management comes in different methods. One is the financial structuring, sometimes it could be the hierarchy structuring, or it could be a completely shifting of the business migration itself, where they are moving from one level to another level of upgradation and technology. So there could be a lot of issues that emerges. So this could be purely a technology upgradation issue, or it could be the people side of the issue where people are not able to adapt to the kind of technology or the change or the shift that is happening in the organization. So we deal with all these 4 levels, and we work on a very strategic way on a project management approach, where with a time-bound method, we have certain processes in place. Now, change management itself is a very big industry across the globe because of the disruptive innovation environment. But in India, it is still yet to take industry shape, and it is often regarded as an extension of a HR activity. So what we do is we provide end-to-end solution, not only creating creative ideas and also providing them strategies of talent acquisition and moving into a very compatible space where they can deal with the change that they plan to do and reach their goals.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.